What you got going on?
Time for y'all to go to bed, huh? Time for y'all to go to bed. It's time for y'all to go to bed. It's y'all bedtime alarm, huh?
It's my wind down alarm.
That's y'all bedtime.
That's what I do. Make my to-do list.
That's y'all bedtime.
What are you doing here?
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Shirley
and Ciroc Obama. It's your audio besties here, and this is Not That Podcast.
Not That Podcast. Every Tuesday, we're sharing personal stories and giving advice
on mental wellness, sexual pleasure, relationships, and pretty much whatever the hell we want.
So if you are watching from home, we are in a gorgeous studio called Create & Co Studio. Look at you see, we are surrounded by plants. It's just giving lively.
It's giving energy, positive energy, positive vibes.
It's giving me chills. It's giving me like zen.
I
want to meditate.
Very zen.
Very zen, very chill. But it's a nice space for you to have events, for you to come, record content, get a photo shoot in. I actually really like this space because it's very like transformational. You get to change it up as you see fit.
Absolutely.
So if you are looking for a new space, this is also Black owned. We have been highlighting all Black owned businesses. If you are looking to create your own content, you can check out Create & Co Studio. This episode is brought to you by them. So would you, as usual, check our show notes and tap around so that you can explore. Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Shirley Dore.
And I'm going to stick with Ciroc. I don't care what y'all say.
It's Ciroc, all right? Remember that, Ciroc. I change it on everything, so you're going to have to remember.
So you
I've been the same day, sis.
Okay.
You said Ciroc, and you said what you said.
I said what I
You
said.
said
with
what
your
you
whole
said.
chest, and I meant it. With the whole titties.
Oh. So I know you guys hear a third voice. We have our first guest of the season.
It's your girl, MunchydaPlug.
Oh, I love the way she pulled up. MunchydaPlug. The plug.
So what that mean? Like you sell drugs? Or?
No, but that's the whole point, so people think so. You know what I mean? So it's the play on words. But overall,
So you're going to get all the drug dealers. Is that your target audience?
No, it's not. You ain't even understanding it.
Go ahead.
So I'm a public health plug. Right, connect with those in the field, but also like just anything that I used to do as far as hosting events when I was in college. Or go to different campuses and just plug my events or just allow other people with a platform to plug themselves in more. So over time, expanding my network and the plug new plugs. So turn it into something professional. So she's a play on words.
So she's the plug for the plugs.
Right. Public health plug.
There's
some smart bitches in the room, y'all.
I mean,
You live in a
smart
smart.
You don't be around no ugly or no.
Yeah.
Oh no, stupid.
One day on me, my friends
One
are
day
gonna be
on me.
attractive and smart.
You gonna be some baddies.
Yes.
You gonna be some baddies.
Yes.
Did you come up with some icebreakers?
Oh yeah. But before we break the ice,
I was just.
Well, the icebreaker was recording the 1 minute video to your younger self.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we did record it.
I was talking to myself for 5 minutes because I was trying to figure it out. I was like, "Yo, you got your shit together, bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you."
So let's break the ice. What are 2 things you wouldn't tell your younger self?
That I wouldn't tell my younger self.
And I wouldn't tell my younger self.
It's hard.
Wouldn't tell my younger
I know.
self.
I wouldn't tell my younger self where I'm at now because then she might have not have worked so hard.
To get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's one thing.
My younger self, what I would not tell her. I mean, the thing about not telling her is like she already don't know.
So what you wouldn't tell her? Just like what you wouldn't tell her at all. You wouldn't tell her. You wouldn't tell her that Obama became president. Like, what is things that you wouldn't tell her
about? Like
Obama
now?
was in office around that time.
I wouldn't tell her that her ex was married. I won't tell you that, girl.
Ooh.
You just it.
Yeah, I wouldn't tell you that. And I'm glad you found out
The way you
as an adult, because that would hurt your feelings.
Oh, like things that my
how to hurt your feelings.
What would I?
Okay. Let's just say you would tell your younger self anything, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd tell her. I'd probably tell her everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's anything I wouldn't tell her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything I wouldn't tell her that Cam not gonna let you talk to his friends.
That's wild. Damn, Cam
Cam
ain't gonna take one for the team.
Nah.
I'm gonna let her think she got a chance.
Yeah, I think Cam doesn't just want us. He's over it. And all of my friends, what did we do? We watched the Super Bowl, and they all said the same thing. You think he would get the point?
Maybe his friend, like, you know, we need to take some blame off Cam. We need to put some blame on his friends, because why his friends not being like, hey, where the bitches at? You know what I mean? Because Cam always around the baddies.
Yeah.
So why, if you Cam's friends, if you're watching this, why y'all never ask for us?
Right.
We're always with Cam. Why y'all never ask for us? And I want to take the responsibility off Cam, especially because it's his birthday.
Pillow talking with his boys.
So it's his boy's fault.
It's his boy's fault.
Yeah, it's his boy's fault.
So,
because if they was looking for us, we would be found, because we want to be found.
we want to be found.
Yeah. So
This is what she would tell.
Shame on
20.
not 20 years.
Yeah, she wouldn't tell her 20-year-old stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of like 20-year-old stuff, I figured we would have an episode on. This episode would be centered around different things that we would give our 20-year-old self advice about.
Mm-hmm.
So just spitballing. So the first one is, what is advice you would give your 20-year-old self about love?
Fuck being good, I'm a bad
Don't love these niggas.
Oh, I take that back.
I would tell my 20-year-old self that you love hard. And you are a certified lover girl. You won't know what this means yet, but you are a certified lover girl. And even though you think you just like big nigga, fuck niggas, fuck them, you out here fucking niggas and you're like, I don't give a fuck, and go. You are a lover girl, and you do all of that because you want to be loved by one person.
I know exactly what I'm going to tell her. The big boy is where it's at.
I need a big boy. You won't know this yet.
You won't know this yet.
But
you need
I need a big boy. Give me a big boy.
I would tell we're talking to our 20-year-old self.
In the age between your 20s.
That's what I'm saying. Because
Okay.
when I'm thinking, I'm still thinking like 20 to 25.
Okay.
Because I feel like things sort of pick up towards the end of mine. It was kind of like the small deposits were kind of like things were showing up a little bit.
So what would you tell your early 20s?
The early 20s, I would
About love.
say, take your time getting to know yourself.
Right.
You know?
I think my early 20s, and even my late 20s, I feel like you do a very good job in love. You just can't control other people. And that is the problem that you're having and that you will continue to have, because you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what. You can do everything right and everything still go wrong. So good luck with that. You're doing a great job, honey. You're doing a great job, honey, but you can't control these niggas.
I got another one. Haitian niggas ain't what it said.
Yeah, try to stay away from that.
She said. I think a lot of Haitians in my 20s.
It's crazy because I think the love of my life has to be Haitian.
Really?
But if there's anything I would tell my 20-year, diversify your nigga portfolio, okay? Girl, listen to me. Diversify that 20-year-old nigga-dom. That roster you had, you needed to diversify it. Yes, you had multiple Haitian niggas. You should have been dating Asians, right?
Okay, I ain't say that diverse.
I would like to.
I keep it black.
I was keeping black.
I would like to step out of the Caribbean for just like 2 seconds. They're all that shit. You did a little Puerto Rican boy. He broke your heart too. But Diversify.
I don't wanna go to.
I was with her until she said outside the race.
You don't want to go outside the black
Nah.
people?
No.
So that's another thing you would tell your 20-year-old self. Stay with black people.
Yeah.
Stick with the niggas.
I mean, I wasn't dating whites back then, so it was just like I wouldn't. So
Yeah. I don't see the
I wouldn't look for love in one place, basically.
okay.
Yeah, that's not my only option.
Yeah, these Haitian niggas ain't shit. And
Look what I started.
20-year-old me. I mean, like, you strong because you a Haitian woman, and you may be able to take some of that, but you don't deserve that.
You don't need.
You don't have to.
You don't need that character development.
Cam got 9 Haitian friends all up and through his group.
Cam ain't loyal. That was on. Cam, what's your nationality?
The producer does not want to speak on the podcast.
Okay,
It's
so what's
upsetting.
Unless y'all want me to.
You can't. Like,
God.
We keep breaking you up.
right. What's your nationality, Cam?
I'm 100% Native American.
Cameron.
On both sides.
Okay, he's an indigenous person.
Yes.
Our what is it? Our producer. You're
He's a black indigenous man.
Is an indigenous man. 100%.
Both sides of the family.
Okay.
Are you getting the indigenous money, like the money?
The tribal funds?
No, because that shit is corrupt. It's just corrupt.
You have to live in the specific.
He has to live
Listen.
within the.
Listen, Duke Energy don't care where that money come from. They don't care if it's corrupt. Okay? They don't care if the money came from the Satan Club.
Oh my God.
They don't care where you got that money from.
Okay.
Prostitutes have their bills paid. There's no way FPL say, hey, we can't take this money. This is bad money.
For me.
No, they keep it.
Yeah, they keep it.
Speaking of money, advice that you give your 20-year-old self about careers.
Oh.
Girl, you everywhere.
You are everywhere.
You are everywhere. But I ain't gonna lie, like, you feel like you're behind, but you're doing better than the majority of the 30-year-old niggas out here, girl. You're doing great.
Listen, 20-year-old me, you were broke, but you started to make a lot of money. You should be proud.
But stop trying to help niggas financially.
Oh my God!
Damn, Ciroc.
Stop helping them out of the idea that they have potential. Because guess what? They don't. They don't have potential. You want to know why they don't have potential? Because they don't got it right now. So they are not the potential today.
Yeah, because you got it. You got it. Why they can't get it?
Exactly.
Why they can't get it?
So
I can't relate.
stop.
What? Nah. I can't relate.
What do you mean?
I don't think I've experienced that.
A broke nigga?
No, like giving.
Oh
like, to that extent.
Supporting.
It was like, okay, that's your business. Ain't got shit to do with me. Like, I'm not looking your way, so I'm right.
On top of that, you have a bad relationship with money, but your relationship that you have with money is from the anxiety of being a child of immigrant parents.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not your fault that you don't know much about money. And you're going to keep telling yourself, oh, I wish I was this, I wish I was that. Those people have access that you don't have. So don't beat yourself up for not having the access to money or just like money education, financial literacy. It's not your fault. You're going to have to learn it as you go. And that's okay because that's the cards that you were dealt.
I would say don't feel the need to take care of everybody. Like, it's
You've
it's
been
one thing
through
to
that.
be.
You're just not niggas.
Just not niggas. Family. Like, it was just like, hey, I need help with this. And it's just like, and I would feel entitled or obligated because it was just like, okay, I was the oldest daughter. Like, I gotta do that for my siblings or like for my parents. Like, okay, I have to do this. I have to. It took a long time. I mean, like, we're talking about like, therapy as well. Like, playing that role and thinking that you have to. In reality, you don't. It's like no one's putting that pressure on you except you, because you can always say no, right? So although I didn't feel that with like niggas, I feel that obligation to family. So in that sense, it's like, oh, cool.
Don't buy that Altima that you have, and don't put the insurance in the car loan because they charge you interest. on that every 6 months. So I would suggest you not do that, 20-year-old me.
I say make sure you pay your tickets. I remember one time I wasn't paying the campus tickets, and I took my mom's car to school and got a boot on her car. I don't know why ever is, but like I was just that careless. It was just like okay, I got another shot before, like, because the thing is, if you park your car past a certain limit, they put a boot on your car. So I was like, I was like, I'm never gonna put her car on campus again. Yo, that's the day they put a boot on the car. We're talking about like over $500 worth of.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and I wasn't making money like that. Like, I had 3 different hustles. You know, I had to borrow money, and not even like I was like, she never finds out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was very careless in my.
You that mama?
Yeah. So speaking of your mom, what advice would you give yourself in your 20s about family?
Oh, I think. I mean, I gave one advice, but 2, I wish I was selfish. Then, you know, I would put everyone else as like I was afraid to leave or go far. Like I remember I got accepted to Morgan before I went to Montclair. So Morgan's in Baltimore, Montclair's in Jersey. And like I had promised someone like, oh, if I get accepted to Montclair, I'll go to Montclair. But really I was afraid to leave. Right, because of circumstances back then. So I end up going to a school in the state, but like further enough, but close enough where I could come home. Right. So like I would say put yourself first. Yeah. So it felt so different when like during the pandemic, right before the pandemic, I was actually supposed to move to DC. I got offered a job and they took the position back, the offer back. But then when I got accepted to Howard, I was like, yo, I'm leaving. Yeah. And from this point on, I'm being selfish, and it's just like saying no was probably the hardest thing to. Like I was practicing saying no, like the year prior, because it was just okay. I wasn't living at home, but I was like having to say no to running errands, even if I didn't live at home. But it was like a real test. Like okay, you no longer live in the state. Yeah. You have to say no. You have to say no. And that was hard. Having to say no. And having not to go home on the weekends, even if I was only a couple hours away, or like, you know, going home during major holidays, I'm like, okay, do I have to go home? Right. Like I live here now, like, but also keep in mind, it's like I'm making all these trips. Who's making trips to come see me? So finding that balance and making sure selfish.
That's actually something that always comes up for people who are away to college, like their family, with the military. Yeah, like their family never come in to visit them or seeing them. So I think if I had to give advice to my 20-year-old self about family, I would tell her to stop trying to please them because they are projecting their insecurities about life on you. And so they'll never be satisfied because you're not them. So you can you could be as successful as you want. If you're not what they expected you to be, they're never going to be happy with the decisions that you made. So live your life for yourself because your family isn't going to live it for you. And then my second advice, you can create your own family. So I know you may not be happy with your family. When you get older, you chose your family and it's the best decision.
And you gotta be careful. Choosing your partner is the biggest and one of the most important investments that you make.
Same thing with your friends.
I would tell my younger self that your parents brought you here for a better life for the both of you, and don't let them put you in generational debt. You don't owe them your life. You know, like, yeah, they may need help, and if you have the capacity and you want to help, then go ahead and help. But you can't help people when you're in need of help. I would also say trust your gut. Moving in with your sister is not a good idea. You and her never get along. Yeah, she's gonna pay her bills, but she's gonna give you attitude in your house where you pay a majority of the fucking bills. Don't move in with that bitch. And then I would also say about family, like, in my early 20s, I've already had like a bad situation with my family, but I feel like once you create those boundaries, the relationship will be much easier to manage. It's a little less toxic. Just make sure you keep your distance and keep your boundaries, and it will be better for you in the long run. But right now, if you continue to like do too much, or you're too close, or you're overexerting yourself, you're gonna be angry. And then if you don't overexert yourself at all, there's like no balance. So just make sure that you keep that balance, and everything will be much more smoother.
How about advice about friendships? Because like you're turning 30 this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Making friends and keeping friends in your 30s, hard. I don't know about we'll touch on these conversations, but it's just like, what would you tell your 20-year-old self about friendship?
It's funny because a lot of people feel like I have a lot of friends. And I think it's just because I'm an extrovert, but do you know how hard it is being an extrovert where everybody want to be an introvert? Everybody want to stay inside. Everybody. Other than that, I feel like, when, like, just to maintain the friendship, like from time to time I'll invite them. If I know they're not coming or whatever. I just keep in touch with them on social media. When they have their birthdays, I make sure I pop out. Just maintaining friendships that way. And I don't have a lot of friends that have like high maintenance friends. I can't do high maintenance friends.
Define high maintenance.
I have an ex who talks to both of his best friends every day. Every day. Like for more than like 10 minutes. Like every day for hours. Mm-hmm. I can't do that.
I do that. I be on the phone all day.
You know, I can only
every
do
day?
That. I can only do that with like maybe two people.
Two friends.
Two key friends. Like I talk to every day.
Every day?
It's to the point where like we schedule like work set. We're both in school, so like I have Zoom sessions from 10 to 12 every day. We have co-working sessions. Like I will share with Shirley want to hop on or whoever. Like her and I, we can spend hours on the phone. Mm-hmm. We're washing dishes. Dishes.
I can be on the phone with my friend for several hours, but every day for several hours.
Every day. That's my person.
Every
and then it's just like she knows when my mood is like switching. She's like, okay, and it's just like,
and we just get quiet.
And it's just like,
and then they're like, oh.
Bitch, check your Instagram DMs, and we're on the phone
for hours.
Can you talk to your best friend every single day for several hours?
Yeah.
I mean, you be at your best friend's place every day.
So she has a list.
I would love to hear everybody's non-negotiables.
Okay.
I mean, you can read it. What you mean? I think I inspired her, so she wrote it.
Once I saw it, I was like, oh.
She was inspired.
I only have two.
Gotta do this.
I only have like two non-negotiables that
I haven't written it out.
Oh no, I wrote mine now, and it's lengthy, but it's also other things on this note, just like terminologies.
Yeah, she has it like all figured out. This is what it's like to talk to a woman who figured it out.
Because here's the thing, like for example, I don't accept dinner dates as a first date. We're going out for coffee, tea, or smoothies.
Why?
It's like a phone interview. I just want to feel your vibe, see if you're about actually good questions, talk.
Why you can't do that over dinner?
No, because then here's the thing, I gotta sit and eat with you. If I don't like you, I can't get up and leave. At least with coffee, so it was great. Like, hey, the part.
You said why not?
Maybe I'm rude.
No, I did not. I did not. I'd stay. Yeah.
For me, it's just like, oh, okay, let's meet, let's go for a walk. Yeah. For me, it's just like, I just want to feel you out. I want to see your vibe. And again, like,
what about drinks?
I don't drink.
Oh.
So like, it's been what, a year and three months I haven't had a drink. So that's nothing. Like, I don't, even when I was drinking, I didn't accept drink dates. And that for me, it's deeper than just a drink. And not like the way I look at it. Some people may not see it this way, but a lot of times, going out on a drink is a way to lure you to have sex. Like, it's just like, let me get her comfortable, let me get her loose, you know. On passe mensudo la, après troisième drink, right? But it's just like, you know, for me, it's like, okay, let's just grab coffee.
I think I want to try coffee dates. That's what the white women do.
Coffee dates, it's real quick. And if I do want, like, if I do this, if I do like, you know, I might be like, oh, let's go for a walk. But it's just like, it's not where it's just like going out for coffee. It might be near a park or, you know, somewhere where it's just, okay, we can walk and talk and act and just
get to know each other.
That's what it is, getting to know each other. Let me see, do I actually want to date you? Like for me, like going out on just a dinner date, it's like for me, it's a waste of time. Because then you also got to think about like I'm assessing and managing like my time, my mental capacity, my energy. Like I don't have all the time in the world to go out on dates, but I also don't want to waste my time with just giving anybody an opportunity to sit with me. You know, so it's just like I'm very selective in that sense. So like before we actually go out for coffee or drinks, it's just like I want to have let's talk on the phone, let's FaceTime. You know, if I met you out in person, I kind of already get the vibe. Like if I met you out in person or if I met you on social media on the dating app, and it's kind of like, all right, I gotta make this phone call. Let me see if all your teeth in your mouth. Let me see if your headline is intact.
Listen. I'm gonna need you to give me a screenshot of like the first page so I can put it up on that YouTube. Be like, this is how you start your, and we're gonna sell a copy of your
I would still want to go on the dinner date. Like I feel like it's only 2 hours, and then after that, I feel you, but I mean, I'm eating.
she's like, but then my thing is if I'm eating, am I actually speaking to you?
You could also see, like, first of all, based on the place that you take me, based on like,
what if he eats nasty?
First of all, like, if he hits me up and he's like, oh, I would like to take you out to eat or whatever, and I'm like, all right, cool, and then he says something like Olive Garden, I'm already gonna be like, no. You know?
But if he eats nasty, at least you get to see it on the first.
Right. That happened to me. I curved the dude for that. We went out.
So you wanted to go out for coffee where you could sip cute, and then when you guys go out,
it's not just coffee. They got like they have pastries and X, Y, and Z. You can see like like it's not just it's gonna be coffee.
But what if he eats spaghetti and and then he get like all over?
Do that again. I'm like, really?
This is not that podcast.
Because it's like, wow, Ciroc, that was kind of wild.
It's not.
I was like, wow, do that again. just for
it's not the podcast.
He'll eat the pastry nicely, but then when he get the spaghetti,
dude was even we had coffee. He was in there. So I was just like, all right, it's time to go.
Time to go.
I was just immediate, and then he just kept cutting me off. Okay. I was like, okay. Now, but the non-negotiable list is just like, you know, I think everyone should do it. But also, like, you know, don't be so rigid, you know, with yourself as you have a list. But for me, having my list holds me accountable for what I say I don't want. Right? So if like somebody says, hey, you know, like, I have X, Y, and Z, like, you know, if children are on your non-negotiables, then you know that, okay, I said I wouldn't date men who have children.
It's holding you accountable.
Exactly. So it's just like, and it's pinned to the top of your notes. And the way I set up my phone, my notes are staring right at me. So it's just like my non-negotiables, or you know, like whatever I put in there, like no public servicemen, for example. That's like no military, no law enforcers, no firefighters, no government agents, no corrections officers, no former military. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna have those on your non-negotiables,
very detailed outline.
Yeah.
I think what I want to do, and I think I might record like a video to my 30-year-old self, and to my 29-year-old self is anxious. But I think what I will do is write down what I want in a man, because I've never done it. I've never sat down and said, what am I looking for? What is, I keep saying, oh, my husband, my future husband, and then I'm going to marry. I have no idea what that man looks like. So
I think I have it in my head. I just haven't put it, like, I haven't written it down. You know?
Character traits.
Oh, she got character traits?
She got physical traits, character traits, skills, willingness, language.
Non-negotiables, and I have my person.
I have non-negotiables, and then I have things that I would prefer in people, but I don't
It's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
The ones you can bend.
Yeah, I can bend.
So you have a non-negotiable. Then what's like for me it's like no cigarette smoke. But for me, like I smoke. So like I feel like I bond better with men who actually smoke weed for some strange reason. Mm-hmm. Like we connect better than those who actually don't smoke.
Everybody, I'm the only person that I know that has never taken a puff of weed. Like it's gotten to the point where that's been something that can be bent because I've been dealing with smokers this whole time. Mm-hmm. Like I don't even think I dated somebody who didn't smoke.
Mm-hmm. We didn't get to you earlier. We talked about my fears. Your fears for your 30s and your fears for your 30s. You said about health. I think I know that once you hit 30s, hormones are like, it's like, hey, let's get ready to rumble. Like, let's get ready to have children.
That's crazy because I'm rumbling.
You have,
have children.
Yes, rumbling mean having children. So, all puns intended. Scratch that.
There was a different rumble that I was thinking about.
So if you're rumbling. Okay, listen, ovulation, if that's the rumble you're talking about, that shit kicks into high fucking gear in your 30s. It's wild.
I just can't imagine me being hornier than I am now.
Girl, you're sweating. Like, I never sweat like this before. And it's just like, you want to know toxic? God forbid somebody text me that week. I'm like, you know that meme of Rihanna?
Yes.
When the red, she's like, that's ovulation. It's like, that's ovulation. But then it's just like, you have to take better care of your reproductive health, right? So, like I got my fibroids removed when I was 31, right? I had 12 fibroids, I had endometriosis, I had an ovarian cyst. So for me, it was like I have to take better care.
That's a lot of big words. What are those?
Thank you. So, uterine fibroids, they are non-cancerous tumors that are within your uterus, right? Endometriosis is it's the lining, so it could connect anywhere, whether it's your the lining of your uterus, your rectum. So mine was like closer to my rectum. So it explained why I would have sharp pains during my cycle, or before or after. Sometimes it can develop on like against your kidneys. Sometimes your part of your liver, it can like show anywhere. Ovarian cyst is a cyst. It's like a sac. And if it's on top of your ovaries, and if it explodes, when it ruptures, it can cause excruciating pain, and it requires immediate surgery. So, with uterine fibroids, they're literally draining the life out of me. Like I had anemia, like always. I was always tired. I would bleed heavily to the point where like I would need to change like every hour, or to the point where I would wear a disposable like panties at night and still have to lay the towel down. So you're talking about like having to set an alarm every hour at night, not being able to sleep.
More fears.
Fears. Right. So for me, it's like my surgeon was like, if you were trying to conceive right now, you would miscarry every time, because that my uterus was at least 23 centimeters filled with fibroids, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a lot of women that like after I started like promoting about uterine fibroid awareness, a lot more women were reaching out to me like, hey, I was miscarrying because I found out that I had fibroids. Like, a lot of my friends were trying to have children, but would find out later on like I have fibroids, or like they would get their exam and say, hey, I found this, and so like that's when I really started to I became vegan, would eat cleaner, but then they would still go, and I think it was a lot to do with stress. It could have been stress for me. But I decided to eat better, eat cleaner, I would say, take different type of herbs. FYI, I'm not a doctor. Do your own research. If you hear that I mention any type of herbs, like I would drink more raspberry leaf tea, peppermint tea for like digestion. I would take more red clover, different forms of plant-based iron like Jamaican sarsaparilla. I would take burdock root, so any type of herb that I would use to purify my blood, but also give me the iron that I need, so that it would literally feel like, how breastfeeding mothers say pump and dump. It felt like I was literally putting iron in my body, and then it would just dump during my cycle. Okay. So in your 30s, in your 20s, they'll tell you oh, this is your blood type and everything. But this is when doctors are really like, hey, are you trying to conceive anytime soon? If you're not, do you want to freeze your eggs? Do you want to do this? And you're like, you're really forced to reckon like, oh wow, okay, I'm in this space where like I have to think about childbirth, even if I'm not thinking about childbirth right now. They're like, okay, how can we prepare you for childbirth? And you're like, I don't even got a man, you know. But it's just like for, you know, as far as a fear, you know, make sure you're getting your annuals, with your PCP, your primary care physician, but also seeing your gyno. Advocate for yourself. Black women are most likely to get STDs, so make sure that like if you advocating for yourself to get full panel screenings by your physician, your gyno, or also make sure you're advocating to get any type of additional screenings that may be related to your family history, whether it's breast cancer screenings, colon cancer screenings, cervical cancer screenings, or you know, making sure you're advocating to get a pap smear. You know, some gynos will tell you like, hey, you're only supposed to get it every 2 or 3 years. If you'll be surprised what people who don't look like that will tell you. It's
actually interesting because when I was younger, I think I was like 16 and I had to get my appendix removed. And my gynecologist at the time, one told me missing my periods, all this, like me only having my period 5 times a year is normal. That's the first thing he told me. Then they told me that I had to get a pap smear every 3 to 5 years. But my gynecologist now, they're like, no, you having 5 periods a year is not normal. You having a period every month is normal. The 5 is not. And then they were like, no, you need to take a pap smear every year because you're sexually active. And I was just like, well, why was I given this information when I was 16? And obviously now, because I advocate and I learn more and I research and I know more, I'm a lot more like, these are the things that I want and not taking suggestions. But I was just like, you know, that was contrary because I personally think I probably had cysts since I was a kid, since I was like 16. And at one time I went in and my doctor was like, oh, you probably just need more fiber. I remember my ovaries were killing me. And I was like, I have so much pain in my stomach. And they're like, oh, just eat more oatmeal, drink more. And all because I was young. You're like, oh, just drink more oatmeal.
They didn't even take it serious.
Drink more oatmeal, do this, do that, do that. And I'm just like, yo, I probably had these damn cysts my entire life and we could have figured it out. Yeah. Because I've always not had my periods every month. Never, since I was 11.
But even how long we even have periods. Like, you know, you do your research. We're not even supposed to have our periods for more than 5 days. No, I haven't. But you know, some people have them for 7, some people have them for 10. I went from 5 to only 3, and it's just like I don't feel any pain. You know, and this is why I advocate for women to seek a second opinion, and that second opinion being a Black OBGYN if you don't already have one, or at least a woman of color. You know, my surgeon was a woman of color. In her team, she had Black LPNs on her team. And the care that they provided me afterwards was everything that I needed, right? Even when I had to do like my physical follow-up, you know, my annual follow-up, it was like, hey, you know, what herbs are you taking? We're talking about nutrition. What are you eating? What's your activity of daily living? Are you working out? You should be working out. You should be doing what other forms of wellness? Are you sleeping? If so, how many hours of sleep are you getting? What is your lifestyle like? Are you sexually active? Are you using protection? You know, where do you work? How often do you work? Like what is it remote? These detailed information, because all of this has everything to do with stress and how do you
you're stressed and if you're not taking care of
your exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What's your stress levels like? Because your stress levels will affect how your cycle.
This is making me a little bit more stressed because
it's, you know,
I'm not very healthy.
And it takes, you know, and thank you for admitting that, right? And sharing that. But one thing I like to say, do things in moderation. Like I have people who be like, oh, well, you know, I'm looking to be vegan. And I'm like, why? Are you being vegan for your health or is it a fad? Because depending on your blood type, you can't, a lot of people cannot be vegan. Yeah, I would say, hey, eat more fruits, eat more vegetables. I'm focusing on the behavior, adding more to your plate, adding more fiber to your diet. Hey, maybe you should eat more tangerines or oranges or fruits and vegetables in the
also
vitamin
with the workout
category.
things. I know you're like, oh, girl, just Just
go
do
for a walk.
7 minutes, literally 7 minutes.
A brisk walk.
For 7 minutes.
Well, I mean, I walk my dog. So
yeah.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but like, if you're used to walking,
fitness.
but that may be part of her physical activity.
Yeah.
But maybe if you're taking your dog up one direction, but you know there's a hill up the road, maybe you might want to take the hill, so that way you are you are increasing that cardio workout, right? You're walking up the hill, you're conditioning. So instead of when I got here from the airport, I was taking the stairs instead of the escalators. I was just telling myself, okay, let's take the stairs. And if we're gonna take the stairs, let's kind of like walk a little faster, because you may not necessarily get the exercise that you need today, but like we walked, we did a lot of walking.
It's all about prevention, really. Just like preventing yourself from being in a space that our parents were, if they are experiencing any health issues. But my family, everyone, by the time they were 50, had something, cancer, high blood pressure, anything, something came up by the time they turned 50. So if I guess my health concerns come from being raised in a house of people who spent most of their young adulthood not taking care of themselves, and then once they got into their 40s and their 50s, they have a slow of problems that they have to deal with, and they don't really get to live life as much as they want to. And so I'm very like health conscious, because I grew up having to be health conscious. So I'm even more, I'm like, I'm approaching, I'm getting into the age that they got to, that where they started to experience health issues.
And also remember, there's a lot of young people who are experiencing these health issues at a younger age now. Like you're hearing a lot about young people dying from like heart attacks, and so you're like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And then for me, that makes it real. It's like, whoa, hold up, this person was only 35,
right.
and I'm 32. Like that, So I reflect on that, but like I said, it's moderation.
As an extrovert, you keep trying to make friends and you keep trying to make things stick. Don't just be friends with people because they stick. Don't just like, you need to realize the character of some people, because some people. Ooh.
It's the alarm. I tell mama.
My phone's on do not disturb. Continue.
Alarms, ignore that.
You're getting attention. That goes off in my class. One more time.
The alarms, ignore D&D.
You hear me?
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, because you think certain people are your friend, but I think you do a really good job at cutting people off once you see the bullshit. But there's sometimes where you just don't have any other friends, and because you're an extrovert, you need that, and you just try to muster up and keep that friendship. Please stop forcing or trying to hold friendships together. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
I would say everyone's not your friend. That's one advice I would give. Everyone's not your friend. You need to build emotional maturity and intelligence in your friendships. And lastly, sometimes you're gonna be a villain in somebody's story, and it's not up to you to change their perspective or the story that they tell someone else. But you'll grow, you'll learn, and you'll be a better friend to other people. You may or may not mend certain friendships, and that too is okay.
Yeah.
Don't let them gaslight you. I hate gaslighting me.
I'm happy I don't have any friends that gaslight me, because we definitely have to be fighting. We would have to be fighting.
20-year-old me, you're not gonna fight anymore. Look at that. You're gonna keep your hands to yourself, like you should have been doing this whole time.
Right.
You still threaten people, but you're not actually gonna fight now.
It's slipped out of my. I finally got it. Not every friend can go to the next level.
That's true.
Not every friend can go to the next level. And sometimes people will just drop off without you having to.
Yeah. And don't feel bad about those friendships falling off. Like,
absolutely.
I know that the person's important to you, but some friendships have to dwindle and they have to disappear with the different experiences in your life. I've definitely struggled with that whenever a friend, I'd be like, damn, like, we were such good friends and we're not friends anymore. It'd be like that. Some people they're not for you next season. And that's fine.
Don't force it.
And it's okay to mourn friendships like you mourn relationships. Like romantic relationships. Like, you need to do that. You need to mourn friendships, but also understand that you will outgrow some people.
Yep.
You'll outgrow a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that, you can't still be cordial with them. And I think that's one thing I told myself, that like if I end a friendship with someone, I'll still say hello and be respectful. If you choose not to say hello to me, that's your business.
Right.
But I'm gonna hey, how are you?
Right. So something that you mentioned earlier, both Ciroc and I are turning 30, and I can say for myself, and you can probably it. No, we're not. Yeah, I'm not 30. So we're both turning 30 this year. And I was a little anxious because people just made 30 seem like you're middle age. It's like,
Maybe like who?
People just make it seem like you're 30.
Like
and
me,
you're
which is
middle
why I
age.
keep turning 21 every
You're
year.
like, oh, you're middle age if you're 30.
That's why I'm loving my 30s.
Right. Oof, wow. So I wanted to talk about fears because it is something that people they just like pushing it back. Like, yeah, your 30s are the perfect. Well, let me tell you what I'm actually scared of.
What are you afraid of?
So I have a huge health scare. Like I feel like I'm a hypochondriac now. I'm just always concerned about what's gonna happen to my health because I noticed that like all of this wild shit that you think you used to do, that your body restored itself, the restoration process is slowed down. So it's like you really can't be drinking gallons of liquor anymore. You really actually can't be eating past 11 p.m. because it does play a role in your digestion.
Ladies, take your calcium. Once
Yeah.
you hit 30,
You gotta start.
take
My
more
knees
calcium.
are hurting
Girl.
already. My knees have been hurting for a week now, and I'm like, wow, I'm not even there yet. I haven't completed my 30th year yet.
Boswellia.
Okay, right. So that is a fear, and I feel like you have a wealth of knowledge on addressing fears. So I would like for you to tell her your fears, and then if you like, this is like a seat in a seat with a therapist.
Oh,
Who's on
not
a 30s? You're not a therapist. You're
Okay, I was about to say,
You're not a therapist. You know you don't fucking, but you're wise. And
y'all think I'm wise?
the way
Y'all gassing me up?
you're wise therapeutically.
Okay,
Does that
alright.
make sense? Yeah.
Because I live.
So my fears help. You kind of answered that. But just take your medicine.
Take
you
your
scared?
vitamins.
Yeah.
But there's some to it, but we can go there after. So yours is health.
Ugh. It didn't even really hit me until I turned 29 because I've been saying I've been turning 21 every year since I was 21. And sometimes I be forgetting how old I'm turning. And then I realized, I'm about to turn 30. I think what's really getting me, I think lately, and I feel like it's because I was in a relationship, is the family thing. Like childbirth. Like not even just childbirth, but like having a family, because you're 30 and single. Like, yeah, I may want kids or I may not want kids or whatever the case is, but I still have steps that I have not even, like, that's not even part, that's not even in my vision right now because I'm single. So like I don't have anybody that like I'm talking to. I'm not dating. I didn't get into a long-term relationship. I didn't get proposed to. Like that whole step, having like a house or having a partner and all that other stuff. And like, I've been trying to calm myself down a little bit because Rihanna had her kid at 33, at 34. Kim had her first kid at 33. Now she got 5. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I may have a little bit more time.
But you're afraid.
Yeah.
The time's running out.
Yeah, the time is running out.
So what would
just
you
getting started?
So what would you advise us who are afraid of
Well,
time running out? And then
I mean, well, first of all, I'm not married. I don't have children either.
Right.
Do you want children?
I do, but my thing is like, I don't see it as a goal, and I think that's a problem. And when you see it as a goal, it's just like that's all you obsess over. So you don't actually live and enjoy your 30s. That's why I said 30s is it's fun. Like I made a thing where I told myself like, all right, I'm pursuing my PhD, and if a man and a child comes, cool. But like this is what I want. I don't want to have a child until after I get my degree, right? if I could meet somebody tomorrow and fall in love, and it's just like, and that may happen like the year I end up defending or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know.
See, I be thinking that way because I say all the time, I'm like, Oprah ain't got no kids. She's successful, rich. She just had a random nigga and she put him in the shed. Tracy Ellis Ross is like living her best life and she's never been married or have any kids and stuff like that. So like I'm okay with if it doesn't happen. But
are you?
Yeah, I'm okay if it doesn't happen. But I'm hopeful that there's the possibility of it. You know what I mean? Like, if it doesn't happen, all right, cool. But, you know, I would like for it to happen. You know what I mean? Like, I would like to, like, if I'm hungry and I want to go to Wendy's. If I see a Wendy's on my way, great. But if not, you know, Taco Bell's down the street. You know what I mean? So it's not like, it's not a goal. But I would like the opportunity. You know what I mean?
So, I guess my question is, what makes you happy now? What just makes you happy?
I feel like what makes me happy now? I feel like my life just makes me happy. Like, where I am makes me happy. Like, I'm happy in my career. I'm happy that I'm not struggling. I'm happy financially. Like, I'm stable. I think I'm a good person. I have good people around me. Things like that. So, like, those things make me happy. And I guess it's kind of like, I guess because like I think it comes from my childhood. Like I feel like my parents did a terrible job and I feel like I could do a good job. And I always feel like a lot of people be like, oh my God, I don't think I'm ready to be a mom. I don't think I'm ready to be a parent or whatever. I think I'm ready.
But another thing is, like, I heard you say earlier that like you're an extrovert and you can't find people to go out with. Why don't you go out by yourself?
I do too.
Okay. Are you outside?
Yeah.
You go outside by yourself?
Yeah.
Like, as far as
all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Going out on dates by yourself.
Yeah. Shirley, like that's what I was like. Shirley don't invite me, but I be out and Shirley be out.
Oh, okay.
And she be on her solo date, and I be on mine.
You actively put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Just continue. Like, it's like.
Yeah, but then again, there's the whole thing where you can't control other people.
I mean, and let it be like, I tell myself, at least you're trying. Yeah. At least you're trying. Like, exactly. You're making an initiative. You're being intentional. You're protecting yourself. You know what you gotta do, right? But like, I just feel like in my 30s, I have a lot more confidence in myself, you know, than I was when in my 20s. Like, I'm more confident in myself as far as like who I am, like what I look like, not care about what other people think. I would say also financially, like I was in consulting before, even, you know, when I was like working in tech and everything, I was in consulting, but I have a lot more confidence in myself to consult now, you know, a lot more confident to like chase a different career path. Like, I navigated 3 different industries before I got to this place. Like, this is the 3rd industry. So it's just like, for me, it's just like, let me just continue focusing on myself, and whoever comes across my path, it's just like, they're going to just align and just get it. They just get on, like, they just get on board, right? It's like, I'm not like trying to stick a circle in a square and then find the next. No, it's just like, continue doing what I'm doing, and the person is just going. They just gonna blend. They just gonna blend in. It's not even gonna feel like.
I feel like that's such a good insight, because if I think about my fears of relationships, I don't know if it's a fear or more like a pressure. I feel like I'm not scared. I think I feel pressured. I feel like pressured because I have all the other boxes in my life are checked off. I feel like this is the one box that people expect me to check off, because it's like, why not? Since you're so proficient and good at checking off all the other boxes.
I think mine is the same thing, but I don't feel pressured by like other people to feel it. I feel like that would be something that I would want to experience.
Right. I don't know if it's the pressure from everyone else or just the fact that I had it and that I could keep it, but something stopped me from keeping it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, dang, you know, one therapist, I have all the keys to successful relationships, but like you said, you can't control the person. So you can have the keys and the other person don't. You know how the niggas always love using the lock and key theory? Okay, I got all the master keys to relationships, but every time I try to find a lock, the lock is jammed because they don't want the key.
And that's like my thought process. Like I feel like I'm ready and I can do it, and other people just not. They're holding you back. I gotta work on myself. I'm not where I need to be.
Different dating goals. Are you just like speaking to those?
Dating. So.
No, I'm referring to the Ciroc. Like,
say what?
Are you just dating in Orlando, or is the entire Florida? Are you willing to travel long distance? Like,
well, I just moved from South Florida, and I'm back and forth from South Florida all the time. My thing is, the men want to be the bitches, and I'm not chasing these niggas. And then there's some of them that think like they're just not consistency is one of like my like
negotiables.
If you've noticed, everybody that I've actually been in a relationship with, these niggas are obsessed with me. These niggas are obsessed with me.
Exactly. Everybody I was with was obsessed with me.
Which is why.
What's up with you niggas?
Which is why I don't.
Now. Huh?
Yeah.
Listen. I have a problem when folks just nigga. I'm just gonna say nigga. It's like they think that what they're doing is something. What you're doing is not. Like, I know when somebody like me.
Yeah. Right. I know it's
like, I know when somebody I know when somebody cares.
Exactly.
Because it's just like, it's very intentional. Like, it's to the point where like I could go somewhere and I could tell when a guy is just genuinely interested in me and not. Like, you mean to tell me I'm giving you all these hints and my accessories and you can't figure out how old I am. I got a 1990 around my neck. There's so many different things you just no attention. No type of attention. Like, oh, what do your tattoos mean to you? Like, oh, you know, what crystal is around? Oh, okay, I recognize you got a crystal. Okay, you paying attention to details. Like, oh, I like your cut.
Some of these niggas is also introverts though, and that's another thing. A lot of introverts, and they want to DM you, and I'm not a DM person. Don't DM me.
I like me an introvert. You know why? Because like for me, I like harmony. I'm a firecracker. Just like you say you're an extrovert, I'm an ambivert. Like I'm an extrovert with people I want to be extroverted with. That's it. I can be loud, obnoxious, I can be the life of the party, and there are moments that I will be in the house for 5 days straight. But like I like introverts because I feel like they balance me. They're a lot more patient than I am. It's like I learn something from them. Like if he's an introvert, if he's like observant, and like I said, like those who I connect with are usually introvert and they pay attention to detail. So that's I'm like, okay. And usually it's just like, hey, I've been watching you that tonight, or like, I've had my eye on you for a week, and it's very intentional. Like they actually do their research, and like
that's the kind of niggas. That's the kind of niggas that like the niggas that pay attention. That be like, what is it? I had an ex. Like I have, that one is the one person that like paid attention to every little change, every minor suggestion, every chin. You know, you niggas now out again. Maybe it's because y'all don't like who y'all go out with. You just
y'all don't like women.
Yeah, y'all don't
like women.
One thing we need to talk about on this podcast is how niggas love niggas.
Niggas love niggas.
Love niggas, boy. You would defend your homeboy.
If your niggas had a vagina, you be fucking your nigga.
Yeah.
You niggas love niggas.
Yeah. Y'all don't like women.
You
don't like women.
You can tell my thing is like, I find I say this phrase often. I find it interesting. Just a fun fact. But I find it rather interesting that like I could just be walking into a barbershop and then you can just tell based by the conversation, men don't like women.
They don't.
Just how they speak about them, whether it's their wives, their daughters, their mother, whatever, just women in general. I'm sitting there like, wow, these men actually don't like women. They don't. They sleep with women. They benefit from, but they don't like women.
And that's a little bit rare because sometimes they feel like the only women that deserve respect are the women that they grew up with. Yeah, like the women that they know of. You know what I mean?
Sometimes
they don't want to respect anybody other than their sister, their mom, their female cousin, or some other dumb shit like that. and they just want to fuck. And they don't want nothing else. And it be irrational too. They just heard it from somebody else. They be niggas online all day that never had a bitch in their life. Women this, women that, women are always, and you never had a woman. What you talking about? Where you got that from? Where did you get that from? They watch Love and Hip Hop, and they're probably no. They started the podcast, but they never had the bitches to start talking about. So I'm confused.
Right? They call it.
It's the ones who got played by somebody, and then now they want to get on.
They got played by somebody when they were in middle school. And they held on to that middle school crush. It just up until they're done. You out here talking shit about women when you were talking about a girl. Like, get your shit together. I'm a teenager.
It be the niggas that be talking about gold diggers but have no gold to dig.
No. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about parce que lui pas fait sens? I'm sorry for your.
She went into Creole.
It went.
It's serious.
No, that once Munchy starts speaking Creole, it's a problem.
Serious.
Parce que m'pa vle $80,000. Your 80,000 salary that you got don't mean nothing. You're 40, you're 50. Like, it's like, sir, I don't want your meal. Like, women are meal tickets. Baby, how much money you make?
Baby, I don't need that free plate.
What's your credit score? Do you even have a 401k?
I don't have anything. Dinner.
Like, what? Like,
they are sleeping on.
And then stop asking me what I ate that week, that day. If you're not gonna buy.
Why are you asking me that I eat today? That's smart.
The automatic water.
Well, thank you, Munchy, for joining us on this episode. You're welcome. I want you to plug yourself in to the people.
Absolutely.
Where can they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, MUNCHYDAPLUG. And if you're a big boy, 6'2", bearded, please follow me.
Wow.
You gotta be cute.
Wow.
I might follow that. That podcast today.
It's your host, Ciroc Obama.
Your co-host, MunchydaPlug.
And Shirley _. We'll see you in our next episode. Toodles.
Bye.
Tonight.
I'll be your girlfriend. And I'll be your boyfriend.
Record.
I'll be your boyfriend. You ain't gotta be alone. Yeah, I'll be your boyfriend. Everybody in the club right now. Tell the DJ to turn it now. And they're gonna make a song. You can't go wrong.
Thank you for listening. New episodes of This Is Not That Pod drops every Tuesday, so keep up with us by pressing that follow button.
We want to hear how much you're feeling us. So if you love the show, leave us a review. Be sure to read our show notes and tap or click around to support our sponsors.